All right, hello everyone. So today is the 1st of May. We've got a new month happening, and let's take a look at the market. Now, let's just do this. Okay, template, properties. Let's start off with gold. Now, be mindful for the news this week. London is closed. This is gold, Astro hours, Astro hours, Astro hours, big gap, and then Astro hours here. I said the market should push up in the opening, and I did give a few hours on Sunday. So to be careful about. This zone is okay to retrace. Gold still has levels to go up, but this is on the daily a place where the market might come back and retrace. Now remember the swing days for gold. All right, so you might want to wait for those days before trading it. Okay, on the weekly we're like up and around. On the monthly we're like up and around, and we've got room to go into that 73, which is 2,340. Now that is going quite a bit up, but what can we do? 66, 2,189, because it's a new month coming into 2,189 may not be such a bad idea, which is just around here. Okay, so coming into this zone for a good buy kiss on the monthly is okay. On the weekly, that good buy kiss is 72, 2,228. 2,228. It's a bit too early for my liking. Let's put this here. 2,228. Okay. But as you can see, these zones, the market can dip back into before carrying on again, because it's a bit exhausted up here. And that's your PST level there. That's your target on the monthly, 2,340. Also 60 is on the cards as well, 65. Okay. So because the market's like broken out, all the breakout traders are in the game, a bit of a pullback, I think, is in order for us to go back. If Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it can be a 3-day sell-off. We had a 3-day up move, so the market going up. Maybe we'll have a 4th-day up move and a 2-day breakdown, so there'll be this big up move and then a push down afterwards. So selling those higher levels is not a bad idea for us to kind of like push it down. Let's take but afterwards we'll want to get back in, right? So don't get carried away. Afterwards we'll look for a place to get back in the game. On the weekly, if we break below that, we'll see how things pan out. But like I said, we should have a bit of room to kind of pull back. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, there's nothing new. As you know, last week, Tuesday, swing day, Astro hour down, nice and easy. The week before that, we had this zone to sell off, nice and easy. That sweep didn't happen, but the market sold off nice and easy. So we've got room to kind of push down into these zones here, as you can see. So that's a zone, that's a zone the market can push into. And if it does, do you want to buy? Well, I'd rather go up and then sell. The reason I say so is this PST zone is 30, as you can see, 1.0743. On the weekly, I've got 44, 1.0760. So 60 and 43 are, like pretty much staring at us here. Okay. On the, that's 44, yeah, 1.0760. And on the daily, that 30 is 0743. Where did I get that from? Now, monthly, we've got 49, which is 1.0806, which is up here. All right. So this zone, I'm just going to get rid of this because this is not a price level. So what I'd like to do is basically sell off on the highs of this consolidation. So if the market is up, we want to sell down because the market's going down. But I'd like to sell, if it comes back up here, that'd be nice. Okay. Not sure that it will. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a different setup. You got to follow the swing days for euro dollar as well. So if the market dips down today, it might be a swing day to go up for a few days and then sell off again. And that might also, be the way to go. But overall, our direction, as you know, from the long-term perspective, is to end up down here where we can sell, where we can buy off again. All right. So that's why we're selling the highs to push down, which is working fine. And there's also a breakout here, so that should bring us into 1.0435, all the way down into this juicy levels down here. Okay, and that's basically it on the euro dollar. So selling the highs up here, or up in this zone at Astro hours is okay. Today's a swing day, so maybe we'll dip down to go up. If you're going to buy it cheap, at least at the weekly. And this is the previous day low. This is not a bad spot, because what you can do here is pretty much, if the market does dip down here, what you can do is just wait. Maybe it'll dip down here and then push up and then muck around here and then start to go up. Okay, so that might be an option. Just look out for that formation, that peak formation at the lows, and then trapping traders and then moving up into this zone and then possibly into this zone before a sell reaction, and so on. All right, so no need to rush it, just plan it out. Yeah, SP 500, nice and easy. Big jump there. The opening, I did say we could get a jump in. And as you can see, that was the closing. And that's the opening. So the market, the first resistance of the day is here. We'll have to see how this thing pans out. We'll probably come back to fill in the gaps. So probably coming into the opening and even to the closing, and even breaking below and coming all the way in here is an option. So SP 500, we've got to check out the swing days for that. Remember and be mindful that there are a bunch of news coming out. So, after all this pump action, all right, so we have a up day, and third level up day. It's like enough to kind of like put in a short to bring us down. Okay, so because I kind of like short it down a little bit, but the market should really push should push lower. Okay, I'm just going to draw this because I like drawing my lines. Turn this into a 15-minute chart. There we go. So we should kind of like dip down, in my opinion anyway, from the highs, and that's fine. This is a good push down, so they've kind of like trapped everybody here. There's some trapped volume there. So this zone is kind of okay to sell off, in my opinion, to push further down. Obviously, the trend is up, so you're going to have to be careful if you're a seller, okay? But this zone I'm okay to sell at with a stop loss above that because it's the daily resistance. Now, if it breaks out above, do not stand in front of it, as I always say. Just don't stand in front of a PST breakout. More often than not, you'll find yourself in trouble. Okay, so to push down into the 65, 5242, 76, 5207 is going to be there and possibly there. All right, and that's basically what we are looking at. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now, with the indices, obviously, we're going to be kind of like going together. And this is Dow Jones as well, as you can see. And again, it's like a 1, 2, 3 day push. So dump move into the week is not a bad idea. That is 73, 4,320, 60. That's your support, 39,634. So 39,634, pretty much. We should end up at the weekly pivot with most of them then. Okay. Now on the monthly, as you can see, we've done the first target. Maybe it'll go up there, but this has already done a price target. So we are up at that 40,076 zone already. Okay, 40,076, which is pretty much there. So the market, kind of like hitting up there, sweeping and so on, and then pushing down into the weekly pivot at least is probably how it's going to pan out. Okay. Once it does that, we'll see. Also, what we have, oops, what we have also today, as you know, is a Mercury retrograde starting period. So markets selling off, looking to sell off, might be the way to go. And this might be where we're coming up into. All right. So we'll see how things pan out. Markets going up, fine, no problem. Wait for the pullback, trade the pullback, and then we can go back in. NASDAQ. Now remember the swing days for this is also, I posted everything on Sunday, so you shouldn't have any dramas. New month on the monthly, we're like way up, as you can see. On the weekly, we're in the middle of nowhere. This was a steady zone, as you can see here. I did say NASDAQ is behaving better than the others, but as you can see, no real signs of selling. Look, it's not giving any signs of selling, is it? And we have a PSD breakout. So do you want to stand in front of that? I wouldn't. Just let it do what it needs to do. I reckon we should probably come down before we think about buying. Where to? Maybe 54, 18,225. 18,225 is your first port of call if you want to buy it. Okay. Even that I think is a bit early. Really. All right. That's on the daily. And on the weekly, 65, 18,096, which is pretty much up there. So there is room to come back down into, and this is a bit of an inside there. What I like about this setup is this could turn into a distribution, and selling the highs is also okay because it's a sideways market. How will I know if it's distribution? What we can see is this. Maybe it'll go like this, won't go as high. It'll break down, and then on the pull up, we can sell off. Okay, so you can check out the distribution. So do this, do that, break out, pull back. We're going to be here, and then we're going to sell off. Okay, so that's a possibility. And on a swing day, which is today, right, in New York, maybe the market might find a high spot. Okay, it might not even get up to here because there's volume here that's like trapped out. So let me actually just double check because this looks like it filled in a gap. If that's the case, well, pretty close to it. So this zone is still a sell zone, all right, with the NASDAQ. And you want to push into this zone, and you want to be cautious if you want to buy, because if this does turn into a distribution, it is going to terrorize everyone. All right. So that's a 1, 2, 3 sideways market. Setting the highs, I think, is okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, I did say pushing down from this zone is not a bad idea. Okay, this is the daily zone here. All right, so as you can see, the market's in a bit of a range, which is fine. This is either going to break up or down. Okay, so if it breaks down, let's see where we are on the weekly. a bit of a divergence on the monthly. Let's see where we're at. Well, on the monthly, we can come back into LCL1, 68,050. So 68,050, we'll keep it on the radar. 68, whoopsie daisy. There, all right. And this was a target for us anyway. And see the market's been selling off in that zone, which is like logical, all right. 4-hour chart. So this is also going sideways. So this could be a nice distribution to sell off into there. And on the weekly, it is a breakout. So I'm thinking on the pullback, buying may not be a bad idea. 66,226 on the weekly. 66,226, which is all pretty much there. All right, so that's the previous week low. So we might get down here. 55, 69,700. 69,700 is there. This is your first support of the day. Okay, which I suspect is probably going to break. Okay, and that's your weekly pivot. So I'm thinking we'll probably break this into there or there. If you're thinking about buying, technically, 72. Yeah, 66,226 on the weekly is a better option. And LCL1, 68,050. 68.50, yeah. So coming back down, I think is like the way to go with this one. Okay. And that's a 15-minute chart. So just put your Astro hours on and then slap them on. All right. Once again, market opens up high with this one. I gave the Astro hours for this. Bitcoin, that's 250. Yeah, that's nice and easy. All right. That's that. Let's have a good day. Have a good week. Keep an eye out for the news.